the Son of Mary. Raise, raise now your song on high as the Virgin, she sings her lullaby. Joy, joy, for Christ is born this babe, the Son of
Thank you, Mom. The Son of God, born in a manger for you and for me. It's amazing how God came in the most humbling of ways. He could have come riding on a horse. He could have come triumphant, powerful, a strong man, but he came as a babe, wrapped in swaddling cloths, lying in a manger. He came to a family that was broken. Joseph's family history was a family history of violence, a history of all kinds of mistakes. He came to a teenage girl named Mary. He came for all of us. He came to the shepherds and the wise men, the young and the old. You know, I was thinking about as a kid when I would hear the story about Christmas and listen to my dad or my grandfather or grandma read the story from the pages in the Bible. Sometimes I just would try to figure it all out. You know, I'd have all these questions. There were really angels there, and wise men were led by a star, and God got Mary pregnant. How does that even happen? I don't understand. You know, I was trying to figure it all out. And the thing I loved about my parents and grandparents is they were okay with all the questions. God's okay with our questions. It's okay to come to God at times with those questions. But at some point, faith looks beyond all the reasoning and all the logic and all the questions and chooses to believe anyways. I don't know where you're at this Christmas. I don't know what you've walked through, but I remember the first Christmas after my father passed away, and all of a sudden all the questions came back again. And I started wondering and wrestling with the pages in this book and the stories that I had read about, trying to figure out what's real and what's true and what promises of God are still relevant for today. And I was wrestling with it. And maybe you're here today and you're wrestling with this. Maybe you're here and you're walking through a storm in your family, with your kids, with your marriage, with your parents, maybe in your health and your finances. And maybe it's hard to hold on to believing that God's still with you, that God's still for you. But today, as you watch this story that we're about to weave of what we walk through in this world and in 2015 and how it connects to what happened in this manger 2,000 years ago, I believe that God is going to speak to your doubt and give you faith again. If you'll let your heart be open, your mind be open to receive today, I believe God wants to do something fresh in you. So, it's my honor and privilege to introduce to you Victory Christian Center's Believe.
you going to come inside, sweetie? We were going to pray before everybody got here. Okay, whenever you're ready.
You're going to have to stoke it.
What?
You have to stoke the fire if you want that old thing to burn right. Otherwise, it'll just be a smoking mess. Come on, you can toss it in.
I know what you're doing.
What?
You're trying to use reverse psychology so I don't burn it. You think if I burn this old book, I'll be burning truth itself. Or God might get upset and punish me more.
No, I think if you burn this now, you'll be burning something that'll be very meaningful for you down the road. Besides, the truth in this book doesn't need the paper it's printed on in order to be true.
How can you believe everything in there is true? God called my dad to be a missionary, and it got him killed.
Well, how long has it been since you read it, Charlie? I mean, not seen it on a YouTube video, but you read it and paid attention. I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Let me read some stories from this to you, and if we get through, if it means nothing to you, I'll throw it in the fireplace myself.
I already know all the stories, Grandpa.
Well, then you've nothing to lose. Let's do it. And besides, I'm your grandpa, and you're supposed to do what I say.
Okay, fine.
I suppose the story starts before there was a manger or wise men. Actually, it started before there were any men at all. So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void. Darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. God said, let there be light, and there was light. Then God said, let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear. And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the waters he called seas. He said, let there be lights in the vault of heaven to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred time and days and years, and let there be lights for the earth. Then God said, let the waters teem with living creatures. And let birds fly above the earth and across the vault of the sky. And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move, crawl, slither, gallop, and hop bound upon the earth. And God saw that it was good. But God wasn't finished yet. He said, let us make mankind in our image and in our likeness, so they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. Then God hovered over the man, and from the earth he formed and breathed life into him. It was spectacular, Charlie. And everything that man was created to be was perfect. But then man sinned.
I know all that, Grandpa. What I can't figure out is, how could they ruin everything? They messed up. Bad. And we have to live in an ugly world because of it.